Welcome to News Goblins, a weekly podcast about nerd news and other stuff we like to talk about. I'm your host, Leslie.
I'm your other host, Jared.
That was really hard to do while you were laughing at me.
I kept screwing up our recording because Leslie didn't do the finger countdown. I rely on that.
I'm sorry. I thought I could just do it,
I have not stopped being enchanted by making strange noises in my microphone and enjoying how they sound in my headphones.
So I need to do the flashy signals to stop making noise with your mouth?
Gotta get my game face on.
Got it. Is your game face on?
Oh, look at it. It's so on. It's so right. It's so tight.
I'm taking your word for it, I guess. So hi, Jared.
Hi, Leslie.
You've been sick.
Oh my God. So I have a foggy memory of having ear infections when I was a kid, and ear ache, like an ache in your ear. This has not been an ear ache. This has been the devil having horrifying, unprotected sexual activities with the side of my head. It has been agonizing.
That's vivid.
Yeah, well, a demon has literally been fucking my ear.
I'm so sorry.
And I know the meaning of literally. I saw it in the mirror.
So while you were sick,
yeah,
I went and saw Mary and the Witch's Flower without you.
Yeah, well, I had a haunted hole in my head, so.
So you said, it was delightful. It was really, really cute and fun.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure I'll get to see it since it's playing at all theaters across the country, right?
Nope.
No.
We'll find it. We'll find a way to.
Well, tell me about it.
So, yeah, I mean, I don't want to, ruin the plot or anything, but it was an adorable story about a little girl who moves to a new neighborhood.
Yeah.
And she can't really get the groove. Like, she's trying to help everybody, but she kind of keeps, kind of just being in the way. And then she finds this flower that gives her magical powers for just one day.
How she determined that? Like, if I came upon a flower...
Well, that's part of the story.
And I touched it and it gave me magic powers, I would assume and hope those powers were mine forever.
Yeah, the limits are... She sort of... so she doesn't really realize she has the powers when a group of witches takes her to a witch college because they just assume she's a witch. And then she kind of figures out as she goes along that her powers are limited. Her powers were
flower-based.
Yeah.
Temporary and flower-based.
Right. Horticulturally limited.
But
it was very cute. It definitely has a Studio Ghibli feel in the animation and the story. It, I think for me, skewed a little younger, just in that it was clearly for children in a way that Studio Ghibli movies are not always clearly for children. And the pacing was much different. Studio Ghibli, even if they're going a little slower, at least always kind of has this momentum behind it that we are moving forward in the story. Things are happening. We are going at an almost planned pace that doesn't really speed up or slow down. It's just this happens, this happens, this happens, this happens.
Plotting.
Yeah. And this felt a little bit more like it was really, really slow. And then a bunch of stuff happened all at once. And then it kind of had a more regular pace towards the end of it that I found a lot more enjoyable.
Was it purdy?
It was beautiful. Cool. It was beautiful.
I was laying on the couch with my ear on fire.
You just can keep talking about that, aren't you?
The dogs kept coming over and they kept coming over and sniffing my ear like they had found part of a squirrel dead on the road.
Something is wrong. Something is wrong with you. They did not like that.
Yeah, it wasn't good.
Yeah, I'm sorry, baby. Anyway, it was really delightful. And for me, the big question of it was, am I ready to give my heart to a new animation studio? And the answer is yes.
Oh, I'm so happy for you.
Yeah.
Have you picked out a dress?
No. But speaking of animation studios I'm willing to give my soul for.
All right, let's see where this segue goes.
A Studio Ghibli theme park has been confirmed for 2020.
Is this a partnership with an existing theme park? Or
yeah.
We're talking about a whole new deal?
Yeah, a whole new deal, but kind of in an area sort of known for that sort of thing.
In Japan? Is that what we're talking about? Okay.
And I'm going to I think it's Aichi Prefecture. It's Aichi.
Huh.
And that is the extent of what I know. That
That's
is pretty
cool.
much all we know. It's sort of surprising because Miyazaki in the past, and this part is not surprising, not a big fan of the theme park thing.
Yeah, he's kind of a grump.
Yeah, he's sort of a curmudgeon as far as those go. There is sort of a Ghibli museum and theme park, but it's very anti-theme park. It's much more nature-based, which sounds delightful to me, honestly. So I'm pretty sure he's not really involved in this.
Well, that sounds wonderful.
Yeah, sounds great.
I would like to go to that.
Yeah, let's just do that.
Are we too old? Will we turn into pigs if we go inside the
we
gate?
might turn into pigs. I'd risk it, though.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds awesome. We need an excuse to go to Japan.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We definitely needed an excuse to go.
Yeah,
to Japan. That was the only
I had
thing
no
holding us
interest
back
before
from
now,
just
but-
taking off for Japan.
All right, what are you doing tomorrow?
Yeah. Anyway, so
Anyway,
Tuesday, this Tuesday, just moving right along here,
day after tomorrow.
is yeah. I guess that is the day after tomorrow. Time has no meaning. It's a big day for new content for video games.
Go on.
The first DLC for Assassin's Creed Origins is out.
Huh.
It is called The Hidden Ones. And it apparently features a showdown between the brand new Brotherhood of Assassins and the Roman occupiers.
Have you played any of that?
No, I just watched you play.
Yeah, I mean, I was a real holdout, having been burned in the past. I get really grumpy. I've talked about this several times about the framing device for Assassin's Creed, where you're a person playing a video game. So far, this one hasn't hit me with that yet. You're just an ancient Egyptian,
You're just doing the thing.
awesome assassin guy. Yeah.
Which I'm pretty on board for.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I think that looks fun. So there's 4 new legendary weapons, new outfits and mounts, and an increase of the level cap to 45 in that.
That is not relevant to
DLC.
me yet.
No, you are not quite there yet. But hey, you might be.
Well,
one day.
wave your hands wildly at me like a Muppet if I'm stepping on something you were going to talk about. But the game, I'm looking forward to 2 games. One of them is the Monster Hunter World game, which comes out on January 26th.
Exciting.
I've only ever played the one of the versions that was out for 3DS. And I mean, I really loved it. It was a very kind of open world, fighting monsters, taking their parts to make new weapons kind of game. I've heard a lot of good things about it. I think that game is going to eat a lot of my time.
Yeah, I see you really going head first in that game.
Because you know, this is so strange, but I like grinding and I like tedious crafting.
Yeah, and you love complex games.
Yeah, I can't really defend those loves, but yeah,
just
I like
defend them.
I like games complicated enough that I end up feeling like an expert on something that required a little bit of attention.
I mean, that's been the great thing about games since the beginning of games. You want to feel like you're good at whatever it is.
Yeah. So there's that one, and then the new Far Cry coming out, which that's a little further off. I think that comes out in March. But man, I've been replaying Far Cry Primal here while my ear has been rotting off. The Plague Lord Nurgle blew his nose in my ear. I've been dealing with that. So yeah, I've been running around with a saber-tooth cat pet, a Smilodon. Fighting Neanderthals. So that's been my week.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did not plan to talk about those 2 things, so I'm glad you brought
Awesome.
them up.
Nailed it.
The other thing that's happening Tuesday is Overwatch is getting a bunch of new skins, a bunch of new emotes, and a bunch of other stuff that they have not revealed yet.
That's this week?
That is this week.
Oh, so cool.
That
I
was
keep seeing bits about that on
Tuesday.
Tumblr, but I didn't know it was coming out.
Yup.
Oh,
That's exciting.
it's so exciting. Leslie has 2 golden guns
I
now.
do.
So I need to stop playing quick play all the time because I want to get some of those competitive points.
Do it.
Because the golden guns are cool.
If you want me to just play your competitive games, I will.
No, that would be wrong.
Would it?
I don't know. It seems like that's cheating.
It seems like that's
somehow.
cheating, but I'm not sure why that seems like cheating.
I don't know.
I don't know. Anyway, so in the rest of the world of competitive video games, the League of Legends returns from the spring season this week. That, if you didn't know, because you're making the I don't know what that is face, it's an online battle arena video game.
Ah.
Yeah. There you go.
Isn't that like every video game now?
Kinda, yeah. And Chen Wei-lin won the 2017 Hearthstone World Championships,
Neat.
which is an online card game.
Cool.
And hilariously, they pushed the confetti button too soon.
Oh.
So there's a lot of video online of the people still playing very seriously while sparkling confetti just sort of flutters down past their faces. Awkward.
Yeah.
Yeah. So next.
I think players like that should have to play in a constant rain of confetti, and the confetti only stops when they determine a winner.
I think that's fair.
So the longer it goes on, you could be in like a
Just
5-foot
ankle-deep
drift of confetti.
I like it.
Yeah.
Maybe they have to play in an hourglass of confetti.
Oh, yeah. You better find out a winner, or you'll all die.
Right. You better move this game along.
And if you play for too many seasons, you start to develop like confetti lung, where you just cough and glitter comes out of your nose.
Yeah.
Oh, grim.
Wow,
Brutal.
Yeah, this is good. I mean, this is how we bring esports to the masses. We have to like up the ante.
Make it a blood sport.
Yeah. Death match. Perfect.
You were saying.
Speaking of blood sports,
Van Damme.
So this isn't really like a recent development, but I kind of put it in here because I thought you might like it.
Oh.
There is a game called Nantucket, which is an online game
I
that
knew
is
a girl from there.
that you did. It was put out pretty recently for PC, and what it is it's a survivor of the Pequod from Moby Dick.
What?
And you're still going after Moby Dick, and it's a stylized strategy game with a sea shanty soundtrack.
Holy shit!
Yeah, so
is that out?
It is out for PC. So there's what you can do for the rest of the week.
Oh my god! I love. This is a weird sentence, but I love Moby Dick.
I just realized this, Jared. I put your Moby Dick mug behind you today, which I did not do on purpose.
Oh man!
Your strange,
I see it.
1.5 tall Moby Dick mug.
Yeah, that's because it's a stein, not a mug.
I'm sorry.
Leslie.
With a whale as a handle.
Leslie.
Anyway, that's
you
a game
lover.
That's a game for PC that you can play now.
Are you Ishmael?
You could call me that.
No, I'm saying Ishmael is the only survivor of the Pequod.
I assume that you are Ishmael, but the reviews that I found for it did not.
Well, there was only one survivor, and it was Ishmael.
Right.
So
you
sadly,
yeah.
I hoped his buddy Queequeg would survive.
Wow, Moby Dick spoilers, Jared.
Oh, I'm sorry, everybody. Oh, God. If you haven't gotten to the new hit, Moby Dick by Herman Melville. Oh, God.
Please
I've really
tag.
spoiled
Oh, yeah.
it.
We're going to have to tag this. Moby Dick spoilers, hashtag. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that is... I also love sea shanties.
I know you love sea shanties.
Well, awesome. I will scrub that right into the poop deck of my infected ear. What?
Nothing. That's great.
It's like a white whale is ramming my ear.
Oh my god. Are you done? Did you have another one?
No, I think I'm done.
Okay, cool. We'll go ahead and end with space news.
Oh, we've been beginning with space news lately.
We're going to end with space news. And honestly, this isn't really like... I don't have an update for this. I just am excited about its possibility. So maybe this is more of a like, get ready for me to freak out about this in the future.
All right.
In the next few months, ? Because we don't have a date yet. And the government shutdown could fuck this up further. So who the fuck knows? They were talking about this happening this month, but obviously it's not going to happen this month. So the SpaceX is going to launch the Falcon Heavy rocket. And I'm going to explain to you what that means.
Falcons aren't heavy.
This Falcon is very heavy. Okay, so this is exciting because the Falcon Heavy rocket can leave Earth's orbit. And we have not left our planet's orbit since 1972. Like human beings.
With people.
Okay. That was Apollo 17. Was the last time that human beings left Earth. So we're like fucking around up there on the International Space Station, but that's like 250 miles away.
Yeah.
That's,
and I guess
in the orbit.
I guess going to the moon doesn't count as leaving the orbit.
Yeah, it does. That's 250,000 miles away.
But I thought the moon was in our orbit.
Yeah, but it's not in like...
or low Earth orbit.
Right,
kind
or
of
low
thing.
Earth
I
orbit.
gotcha.
Exactly. Yeah. Yes. So technically in space, but still like...
Yeah.
So Falcon 9 is designed to take stuff to the ISS, the International Space Station.
9 Falcons doesn't sound like that many.
It isn't that many.
So, but they can leave the Earth's orbit.
I will elaborate that on that in a moment.
Oh, okay.
Actually,
Sorry. Go ahead.
So Falcon 9 is designed to take stuff to the ISS, and the hope is eventually it'll also start taking people to the International Space Station. And the Falcon 9 is called the Falcon 9 because it has 9 Merlin engines.
Wizards? We're
Yes.
bringing wizards into
We're bringing
this?
wizards into space.
Oh, wait. Are the Falcons wizards?
Yes.
Okay, picture...
No, the wizards have a falcon. They
yeah.
just share one.
Yeah, but picture an awesome falcon with a purple robe and a pointy hat.
I like it. Done.
Sorry, what we were talking about, my ear hurts.
Anyway, the Falcon Heavy rocket has 27 of those engines to the Falcon 9's 9.
Nice.
So,
Take that,
Yeah.
space.
yeah. That would make it the most powerful rocket since the Saturn V,
Huh.
which is that big rocket. Remember?
Oh, I
when we were
remember it. NASA.
Yeah, remember at NASA and there was that big rocket? Yeah, so this can be more powerful than that.
Wow.
Yeah.
And what are they going to do with it?
They're going to launch people into space, buddy.
Yeah, but where are they going?
Good question.
Space is mostly empty, I
We
hear.
need to make it work first, I think. I mean, the plan is to use this eventually for Mars, for the Mars mission.
The red planet.
And NASA has a version of this, obviously. Like, NASA isn't just depending on Elon Musk for all of their space stuff. And that is called the Space Launch System, but it's had a ton of issues and delays and problems and doesn't seem to be moving along as fast as the Falcon Heavy rocket.
How long do you think people will have to travel in space? And how routine will it have to become before there are space shanties?
I mean,
You know they're happening. I mean, you know, people always create culture around whatever they're doing, you know, whether it's trench art and war or sea shanties. So at some point, we're going to have folk music about space travel if we do it enough.
I mean, didn't David Bowie do that?
It doesn't count.
Because it wasn't created in space.
Yeah, I mean, it was speculative. It was
Okay.
in the genre of speculative fiction.
I don't think it's very far away.
I hope you're right.
Although, you know, Major Tom, there was an astronaut who played Major Tom on an acoustic guitar in space.
That's true.
That makes it a space shanty.
No, it doesn't.
I
It wasn't
think
written
so.
there. Nope.
I don't know.
No. It wasn't written there, and it didn't contain any
Now,
yo-hos.
hold on. Are we saying that, like, what if a sea shanty was written in a bar after you got back? Is that it's still a sea shanty?
Okay, listen up. Until there are working class jobs
Listen
in space, just working class Joe plumbers in space, we're not going to have the kind of sea shanties that I want or I'm talking about.
Okay, so you have like a genre purity thing
Yes.
on your sea shanties, space shanties.
Yeah, I don't care if some astronaut with 3 PhDs plays a David Bowie song on a guitar. We are not in Shantytown yet.
All right.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's right. I'm an elitist about my
You're
space
like an
shanties.
opposite elitist, though, because
I'm a purist.
you're a purist for your space shanties. Well, I hope one day you get your space shanties.
Thank
Jared.
you, Leslie.
I hope one day. I hope one day your ear is healed enough to hear them.
We need to cut this episode short because A, my ear hurts, and B, I want to go play that Moby Dick game you told me
Okay,
about.
cool. That means that you will get off the Xbox and I can play Overwatch. So let's do that.
I can play both.
So the next step for the Falcon Heavy rocket is a static fire test. So basically when they tie it to the ground and then fire all the rockets and see if it works.
What does that do?
Huh?
They just see if it explodes or not.
Yeah, basically it's literally like, is this going to explode?
Setting a rocket off is just kind of a directional explosion, isn't it?
Yeah. And also they just need to measure if they're actually getting the amount of propulsion that they want and need.
I assume they're doing better on how much it costs to get a gram of weight into space, right? Because a lot of the discussions I've always heard about space travel and space stations is just how expensive it is to send any amount of weight into space because of how much fuel it takes to send a pound into orbit.
Well, that's one of the reasons why, like, it's interesting to me that the media kind of always presents SpaceX and NASA's relationship is adversarial.
Oh, yeah.
But it's not really.
Not at
Like,
all.
NASA really needs SpaceX to do the innovation that they don't have the money for.
Yeah, we heard that from NASA
Yeah,
while we were at NASA.
multiple times from
Yeah.
multiple people, and that makes sense. So yes, they are improving, and a big part of that is SpaceX's partnership with them.
Well, I would have to assume renewable,
But also like
reusable
Boeing, too.
rockets change the calculus a little bit.
Really, well, that's the hope. Right now it doesn't, because they aren't coming back intact enough
Huh.
to, I mean, they've just started sending them back up again.
Because we haven't discovered unobtainium yet.
Right. What was unobtainium from? Oh, that
It
was
was
from
terrible.
fucking
Yeah,
Avatar,
it was,
wasn't
yeah.
it?
Maybe I should have said adamantium.
Avatar was one of the highest grossing movies of all times, and I cannot remember a single line from it.
It's a prequel to the Smurfs.
Is it?
Mm-hmm. The blue guys are on the planet, but then eventually really huge humans come. Gargamels, if you will. And subjugate them with the power of giant cats.
Fascinating.
You weren't paying attention.
Not a bit. All right, are we done?
Yeah.
Cool.
Let's go play video
So
games.
this week is going to be exciting, and I hope that you guys check stuff out. If you do, if you check out the new downloadable content, or if you have exciting Overwatch stories, go ahead and tell them to me on Facebook or Twitter, both at Newsgoblins, or email us at newsgoblins@gmail.com.
It's true. Every word of it.
You can also give us a review on iTunes, which is super helpful, and we really, really appreciate that.
Please do it in sea shanty form.
Oh, that would be really good. Or Space Shanty Farm.
I'll tell you a tale of a podcast I know. Yo. Oh.
And on that, have a good week, everybody.
Bye, everybody.